Hey there, fellow citizens of the internet. My name is Moses. You're watching this on my YouTube channel. How did I become debt-free in my 20s? To save you time, I did 5 things. 1, I increased my income. 2, I saved up $1,000. Not a lot, I know. 3, I stopped borrowing more money. 4, I went crazy on paying off the debt that I owed. And last but most certainly not least, I started to pay way too much attention into how much went in and how much went out of my account daily. I just saved you the rest of the video, but if you'd like to stick around for the actual details, make sure you like this video so that others can find it useful as well. Okay, so let me be a little bit more transparent. I still have $13,000 of student loans left to pay, but the repayments are currently on hold and there is no interest being accumulated. And I have way more money in my account so that if the payments start up again, I can pay it all off like tomorrow. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, man, I remember the very first time that I pulled into a gas station and it just occurred to me that I did not look at the price, but I had created a habit of shopping around for the cheapest gas station around. And when I pulled into a gas station without having looked at the price, that was such a relief, such a peace of mind that I was like, man, this is awesome. And it seems like nowadays, especially if you are in the States, having debt is almost inevitable, it seems. Like at the very least, if you're going to pursue secondary or tertiary education, you will encounter student loans. So borrowing money becomes something that is just so part of our daily life that we don't even question it anymore. And you might know people in your own life that brag about the low payment that they have on their car, or, it's so well accepted into our societies. But having debt is not good. It can't be good, and you should avoid it at all costs. The very first thing that I did is to increase my income. I was driving for Uber and Lyft at the time, and they had these incentives for completing, let's say, 10 trips before 5 p.m. You would get an extra, I don't know, $10 or $30 if you did X, Y, and Z. So I made sure that I hit all those little milestones, and little by little, that accumulated. At the same time, I also had a job where I was a school photographer. So increasing your income is most likely the best weapon that you have against going into debt. The second thing that I did was to save $1,000. Now, $1,000 does not seem that much, and it really isn't. But the whole idea behind it, and I borrowed this from Dave Ramsey, is that if my car, for example, which was my primary source of income, if that broke down and I did not have $1,000 in savings, I would dip right back into debt. So having $1,000 would take care of small emergencies. If my brakes go off, if my tire erupts, if the windshield cracks and all of a sudden I don't qualify to drive, those little emergencies would most likely be covered by that $1,000 without me slipping right back into debt. So that really helped tremendously. The next thing that I did was to stop borrowing more money. It sounds super simple, but I took the credit cards that I had, I stopped using them, and I even literally grabbed my scissors and knives and I cut up some of them so that I don't even get tempted in borrowing money. So stop borrowing money. And using credit cards may not sound like you're borrowing money, or having a car payment might not sound like you're borrowing money, but at the end of the day, you are. So do whatever you can to stop borrowing money. The fourth thing that I did was to go crazy on paying off my debt. I mean, I went nuts. I started off by paying the card that I owed the least. When I finished paying the first small amount, it could have been $200, I don't remember, $500. I had this rush of dopamine that, wait a minute, I can actually do this. So I still owed $3,000 or so to my college. And I just started every single penny that I had above that $1,000 and above my expenses, I would throw it in. That whole monthly minimum payment, don't stick to that. Go way beyond that. Pay it off as fast as you can. As fast as I could, I paid it all off. My debt primarily consisted of credit cards, the money that I owed to my college, as well as student loans. Now, I did incorporate some small rewards throughout the weeks. Every Thursday, 7 p.m., I was in the movie theater. I had a subscription to Movie Pass, and that allowed me 3 movies a week. This gave me something to look forward to, because if you're just paying off loans left and right, you might get discouraged really fast. So for me, looking forward to Thursdays and watching a movie on Thursdays was like a reward for me. The last, but most certainly not the least thing that I did was to pay attention daily to my account, even if I didn't spend a single cent. Waking up, check my account. Throughout the day, check my account. At the end of the day, check my account. Make sure that every cent, literally every cent, is accounted for. What are my future goals? The very first future goal is to, well, increase my income. So probably get another job or get multiple sources of income so that I'm not relying on only one. The next thing that I want to do is I want to have a year worth of bills paid for. So right now I have about 6, maybe 9 months worth of bills taken care of. But I want to get to a point where if shit hits the fan, I can go 1 year with all my bills covered. Of course, that means maintaining the same lifestyle that I do currently, which I can. Another medium to long-term thing that I want to do is start to invest in my retirement. This is admittedly an area that I am completely blind. I don't really know as much as I should, but I want to start looking into investing so that when I'm in my 60s, I don't have to work as though I am in my 20s. If you happen to be on the same debt-free path, and this is not by any means financial advice, I would recommend looking into the steps that I did because they worked for me. Doesn't mean that they would work for you, but it might be worth a try. So to recap, increase your income, save $1,000, stop borrowing money, pay your debt like there's no tomorrow, and of course, keep track of what comes in and what comes out. My name is Moses. You've been watching this on my channel. I will see you in the next video. Peace.